The history of the conflict in Palestine started with the Balfour Declaration of 1917. The British wanted to hand over a part of Palestine, which they were then administering under League of Nations mandate, to a friendly new Jewish state.
A York transport landing at Leda Airport brings delegates to the United Nations Special Committee on Palestine.
In the aftermath of Nazi Germany's genocide, a UN General Assembly resolution in November 1947 proposed two states in the Palestinian territory. The Jewish state of Israel, taking up 55% of the area, and the other a Palestinian state. Jerusalem was to be a separate entity under the United Nations. Soon after the November 1947 UN resolution, violence broke out in Palestine. The Jewish side knew that they were a minority even in their part of Palestine, which is why the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians began. The aim was to change the demographic composition of what would become Israel. Armed groups attacked Palestinian villages and towns. People were killed or driven out. There were massacres in a number of places. In the village of Deir Yassin in West Jerusalem, for example. These attacks began well before the Arab-Israeli War and continued till the ceasefire in 1949. However, the two-state solution was never legally formalized, either through a Security Council resolution or through negotiations with Palestinians. The British withdrew from its mandate on May 15, 1948.
After years of strenuous but unavailing effort, His Majesty's government have reached the conclusion that they are not able to bring about a settlement in Palestine based upon the consent of both Arabs and Jews, and that the mandate is no longer workable.
Today, the British mandate over the land of Israel ends. We declare a Jewish state in the ancient land of Israel. It will be called the State of Israel.
The Arab states opposed the formation of a Jewish state on Palestinian land without the consent of the Palestinians. This triggered the first Arab-Israeli War.
Jordan border. The rarely photographed King Abdullah reviewed a brigade of reinforcements from Iraq.
Eight to 900,000 Palestinians were forced out of their homes and never allowed to return again. This is what Palestinians remember as the Naqba or the catastrophe.